y'all, it's me, Lisa McCurdy, and welcome to my channel, She Raven. Thanks for joining me tonight. And yes, it's nighttime. I know sometimes I record during the day, sometimes I do it at night, but tonight I'm doing it at about 6:59, so about 7 o'clock. And on my channel, I talk about true crime, horror, spooky things, paranormal, and just basically whatever comes to mind, whatever I feel like talking about. So I'm so happy that you've joined me again for another episode of my podcast. And please like and subscribe. That's really important. And it's just a free way to help me out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified anytime I upload more new content. So thanks for that. In tonight's episode, we are finishing off spooky season. And I mean, there's still, I got like 2 more days, but tomorrow I probably won't be able to do anything. I'm just busy. I'm always busy, but I'm really busy tomorrow. And but we're finishing it off, and I kind of wanted to talk about something that doesn't really hit spooky season, but I'm going to talk about it anyway for spooky season. I wanted to talk about Day of the Dead. It's a Mexican holiday, and it's just really fun here in Texas. It's really, really, really a big deal, and I don't really know that much about it. So I did a little bit of research, and what made me do some research was this fantastic, let me grab it, this fantastic present that I received. Let's see if I can show that to you. And you got the light back there. That's the light shining. I wish there was a way to make it not shine, but it's shining. So this right here is just fantastic. It's basically, I keep calling it a snow globe, but it isn't a snow globe. It's a globe, and this rose is completely submerged in underwater, and the rose is completely underwater, and you've got your Day of the Dead woman in the front, and the whole thing is underwater. I'm not sure how long this is going to last. This was a present to me, and I really love it. I absolutely adore it. I appreciate it. I think it's so fab, absolutely fab. But right now, I think it's going on like its 3rd week, and it's still going strong. I can see some sort of wrinkles in the rose, and I mean, I'm assuming it can't last forever. I mean, nothing lasts forever. But it's just very vibrant. The color is vibrant. I like how they were able to put the black on the tips of the rose. And it's just fantastic. Absolutely beautiful, unique Day of the Dead present. And this was given to me by my bestie. So I've got a cool bestie. You know, thank you so much. I really appreciate when people give me thoughtful gifts like this. And you know what else this reminds me of? This actually reminds me of Beauty and the Beast. You know how the Beast had his rose and it was under the glass, and you know, it would wither and it would lose one petal at a time, even though this isn't losing any petals. But the whole concept just reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, and it's just really, really, really gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can show it to you without maybe the light destroying the picture so much. That's a real rose in there. A real rose. Fantastic. And I don't think it's red. It's more like orange, but I'm not sure if it's orange because it's under the water. And let's see if I can show you the figure. And she's in her full makeup and her full gown. Let me see if I can put out my light there. And I've had it for about 3 weeks. And like I said, it's still 100% going strong. So this sort of made me want to know a little bit more about Day of the Dead. I knew that this particular snow globe, see, there I am again with the snow globe. I knew that this particular globe was a part of Day of the Dead, but I don't really understand the whole thing. So I am not Mexican, so I don't understand it, but I do know that I do have like Facebook friends and things of that nature, and you know, they will put their altars and things like that up. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I also watched the movie Coco. So I know a lot, believe it or not, from that movie, and I understand a lot from that movie. So, you know, that was really, really helpful and just really explaining what it was. And of course, I watched that with my kids. Not that I have anything against cartoons and stuff like that, but you know, you don't really have, I mean, I don't have that much time to constantly, you know, watch shows and stuff like that. But I watched it with the kids and it really explained it. So, receiving this very thoughtful, fantastic gift, let me get it again, just made me want to just look into the whole Day of the Dead and really just kind of share that with others, the information that I find and the research that I've done. And I know it's a beautiful, beautiful holiday. I know it's a beautiful holiday because I live in a place where there are so many people that celebrate it. So I've got my Day of the Dead earrings on also. Ooh, see those? Yeah. My daughter had a third grade teacher. It was her math teacher, and her math teacher loved Day of the Dead. And her math teacher had which was kind of crazy, but she's such a sweet woman. Had the broom decorated like that. You know, she had like her little figures and stuff like that. And at the end of the year, I actually ended up giving her a Day of the Dead skull figure, not incense, but wax warmer. So it was like a big wax warmer, Day of the Dead, and I figured, you know, she's already got everything in here and everyone's fine with that. So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about Day of the Dead, and then also I'm gonna show you some of the fantastic treats that I've picked up. Because like I said, it's a really big holiday. It's a really big Mexican holiday, and I've picked up all kinds of treats. I didn't go overboard, but I might have gone a little bit overboard. So this one is kind of spooky, and you know what? I took a piece of his rump. Yeah. I got a piece of that butt and tasted it. So there's a lot of different Mexican treats that go along with the whole Day of the Dead. So I'm going to just kind of let you guys know a little bit about Day of the Dead and talk about it, and then just share some of the things that I've got, and just a few of the things. Because I'm not Mexican, like I said, I don't have a big old altar or anything like that. And I wish I was in a place that did, so I could kind of talk about it like that. And like I've told you guys before, what sucks about me recording at night is the kids are home and then the dogs are home. So, you know, I've got three dogs, and the two females, they're just like, they're at it. Typical girls. But I also have this Day of the Dead, this skull figure mug, and I should be drinking some Mexican hot cocoa in it. So this is the Mexican hot cocoa that I see in the store, and this is the one that I actually like, and my kids like it, abuelita. So I should be drinking this in there, but it's Friday. I'm not drinking hot cocoa on Friday. So we've got some mommy juice in here. Mmm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely some mommy juice. No hot cocoa on a Friday night. Mm-mm. And I'm busy all tomorrow with the kids. So yeah, no hot cocoa on Friday. As a matter of fact, let me keep that mommy juice really close to me. Let's put the Mexican hot chocolate over here. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys all the goodies after I kind of give you like an overview of what Day of the Dead is. I'm going to show you all the yummy goodies that I was able to find at the bakery. These are like their sweet breads. But let's go ahead and let's first talk about the Day of the Dead celebration, and then I'll show you some of the goodies I have. Okay. And this one right here I'm reading. I didn't actually do this research 100% on my own, so I cheated. A lot of times I do it all on my own, but I cheated today. I've got mommy juice in there with some flavored mineral water. It's just me. And I like ice in my wine. So There's ice in there also. So let's go ahead and get started. Uh, Facts to know about Day of the Dead. These are just things that we're just going to kind of talk about. Those of us that are not Mexican, we're just looking it up. And I'm sure there are going to be things that I'm going to miss. But these are just the things that I was able to research, which piqued my interest, all based on my gorgeous present over here. So, Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday celebrated on the first 2 days of November. Its purpose is to celebrate the lives of the deceased on the days of the year when their spirits are believed to return to our world. It's a national holiday seen by many in Mexico as second only to Christmas in terms of its importance, and it is growing in popularity around the world thanks to the Mexican culture abroad. Day of the Dead is not Mexican Halloween. Contrary to what is often portrayed in popular culture, the Day of the Dead is not Mexico's version of Halloween. Even though they fall around the same time of the year and have similarities, the two are different holidays with separate origins and unique traditions. Halloween has its origins in Celtic harvest festival. Day of the Dead is rooted in the ancient religious traditions of the Mesoamerica's indigenous population. Halloween, as it is practiced today, involves trick-or-treating, wearing costumes, and decorating pumpkins. Day of the Dead traditions involve none of those things. In Halloween, spirits are seen as scary or something to be warded off. Day of the Dead focuses on receiving the souls of dead relatives with joy and hospitality. Now, I will admit, for the longest time, I was confused about Day of the Dead, and I think anyone who hasn't really understood the the holiday, we all would be confused because it is around Halloween. It's right after Halloween, but all of the material for Day of the Dead comes out exactly at the same time as Halloween, and it's usually in the same aisles and things like that. So, for the longest time, I did think it was Mexican Halloween. I thought it was just kind of merged right in there. So this has really been eye-opening with this research, and then also, like I said, the little kid movie I watched, Coco, that really helped also. More mommy juice. The holiday has a rich and ancient history dating back over 2,000 years. The roots of Day of the Dead run deep in Mexican history and date back to the days before the Spanish conquest. Pre-Columbian civilizations had a variety of celebrations aimed at honoring the dead. However, many of the traditions we know today come from the religious practices of the Aztecs, who believed different afterlives existed depending on how people died. There are several Aztec holidays involving rituals to honor the deceased, including decorating tree stumps and placing offerings for dead relatives. These traditions set the precedent for the ofrendas, or Day of the Dead altars, placed by Mexican families today. After colonization, these traditions were Christianized and became incorporated into the Catholic holidays of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, producing a unique syncretism of traditions. The traditions were moved from summer to November 1st and 2nd to coincide with these 2 days. And I found that quite interesting because I don't really understand why you would change or move your traditions from your country to coincide with, another, I guess, a similar holiday or a similar, Yeah, it says Catholic holiday, so a similar holiday. So I never, I don't really understand that, but this is my first time even learning about it. But then also, I don't even understand if you celebrated it in the summer, why would you then move it to the first and second of November? But then I guess to coincide with the Catholic All Saints Day and All Souls Day. But that's some interesting information also. Mexican families place ofrendas to honor their deceased relatives. In the days preceding the holiday, it is customary to build a shrine to honor one's deceased relatives. These shrines, referred to in Spanish as ofrendas, are bright, colorful, and ornate. They are adorned in orange and purple, the holiday's traditional colors, and decorated with flowers, including marigolds, and decorated with paper crafts. Placed atop these altars are photographs of the deceased, objects that were precious to them, and foods they enjoyed in life. These sit alongside sugar skulls, candles, the traditional Pan de Muertos, I hope I said that right, Pan de Muertos, crosses and statues and icons of Jesus and saints. During the holiday, ofrendas are not only placed in homes, but also in schools, offices, and public squares. In cities around Mexico, public ofrendas become a spectacle in itself, attracting dozens of people to view these gorgeous, large-scale altars placed within public view. They are often made by well-known artists and adopt a yearly theme and are meant to honor important figures in Mexican history and culture. So basically, an ofrenda is an altar. So during the Day of the Dead celebration, because for them it's a celebration, it's not mourning, it's a celebration of the person that has passed, they create these ofrendas, these altars, and they give up offerings, they give up sweets, and at the top, they put the pictures of who this ofrenda is to, or I guess the pictures, and they put up objects that that person liked in life. So I guess, offering it to them. And what's really interesting about that is today I actually saw I actually today saw two. When I went to the bakery is a small bakery. It's not very big, but I'd say about 25% of one wall, they had this huge ofrenda, and it was gorgeous. But I mean, they probably did it so big because it's a bakery and they know that this holiday is literally days away, and everyone is buying everything that they need. But it was from the top of the wall all the way to the floor, and then it even came out from the floor. So it was, I'd say maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet, maybe even more, from the wall on the floor. And there were flowers everywhere, and they had all kinds of, baked goods, especially placed there decoratively. And that's actually how I chose which goods I was going to buy to show you guys. I just basically looked at their ofrenda, and whatever they had, that's what I bought. There was one thing that I had seen, and they didn't have it on, well, they did have it on their ofrenda, but they didn't have it in the bakery. And I just said, you know what, I was like, I got so much sweets anyway. I mean, I can't even eat all these, these things. This guy really so interesting. But it was gorgeous. I mean, and then besides the fact that the bakery already smells like heaven, I mean, it smells like sweets, it smells like bread, it smells like everything in life you want. You have this gorgeous, ofrenda there. So that was pretty cool for me to see that. Then I also saw one just on my Facebook feed, a friend of mine, and she's not a close friend. She's just, one of those friends. She's actually a pen pal, but she had one that she had created in her home, and it was to her mom, and it was really really pretty. And she was just mentioning the things that she had up there, and what she still needed to get to finish her altar. So both of them were just gorgeous, and hopefully in the future I can see more, and I can understand more, and maybe see how people, how they make it their own, because each person, sometimes they have their little individual unique way of making anything their own. I mean, even with holidays like Christmas or Halloween or something, people always do what they want to do to kind of put their signature touch on it. So that was really nice. Also, the Day of the Dead isn't somber, it's a celebration. While many would expect Day of the Dead to be a solemn memorial day, it is actually a joyous occasion, meant as a celebration of life. Instead of everything being dark and somber, as commonly associated with mourning rituals, the holiday is bright and colorful, with decorations filling nearly every home and public space in the country. It is common to have a celebratory meal with family, as well as street parties with music and dancing. In many towns, there are celebratory processions involving masks, puppets, and colorful costumes. Now, I don't know about Houston because, like I said, I don't really know that much about the holiday, but I know in San Antonio, they have a big parade. And I sort of just stumbled upon it one day. We were in San Antonio, and we were in the downtown Riverwalk area, which is gorgeous. But that's a whole nother podcast. But we were in the downtown Riverwalk area, and they were getting ready for the parade, and the crowds were coming. I mean, the parade wasn't supposed to start for a couple hours, and people had their coolers, and they had their alcohol and their food, and they were decked out with the flowers and all the makeup, and the flowers on the hair, and just everything. And it was getting packed. I mean, packed. And even when we left and we were going back to the hotel, there were crowds all the way up the outer road, the road off from like that, the main highway that's there. And I remember thinking, well, dang, you know like, wow. But San Antonio is really known for that. I've been there a couple times where they're having like big parties, and a lot of times they're parties, I would say, yeah, Mexican parties, because there's also massive Cinco de Mayo party there. But I don't stay for any of that. I have the kids, and at that time, the kids were a little bit younger, and you can't really. I mean, I can't really be around all of that, and just I'm a tourist in that city, because I'm always coming into that city as a tourist. So I never stay for any of the fun stuff. So maybe when I'm a little bit older, or when the kids are a little bit older, I'll stay for the good stuff. I'll finally get to enjoy it. I'll have my cooler with my alcohol. Yeah. Um, so also, it's customary to visit cemeteries. A central part of the holiday involves going to the cemetery and spending time at the graves of loved ones. In preparation for Day of the Dead, families will clean and wash the graves of their departed and decorate them with candles and flowers such as marigolds. They will bring offerings of food that the deceased enjoyed and objects that were meaningful to them in life. In the case of children, toys will be brought to the gravesite. In many parts of the country, families will share a meal alongside the graves of their relatives, while sharing stories and memories about the loved ones they have lost. That's really nice. I like that. Marigolds are a key component. Mexican marigold is a bright orange flower that grows around Mexico during autumn. It has become an important symbol of the Day of the Dead, Around the time of the holiday, it is seen everywhere, from ofrendas to public buildings and even parks. The reason for this is not only the fact that it is a seasonal flower, but also because of the flower's uniquely strong smell. The smell is believed, according to Mexican folklore, to attract spirits. For this reason, it is traditionally placed in ofrendas to attract the souls of the deceased to their living relatives' homes. Now, I wasn't able to find any marigolds. Well, you know what? I wasn't able to find them affordably because I did find some, but I was like, I'm not paying $16 for some flowers, and I'm not really good with flowers. I mean, I always kill them. So I didn't want to spend, $16 on flowers. But some of the things I have, show like, the different flowers and stuff like that. Pastries and sweets are central to the holiday. Oh, yeah, that's like what I have. I've got way too many sweets. Like any special occasion in Mexico, food plays a vital role. The traditional meal often include Mexican favorites like tamales. But what most people look forward to during the season are the desserts. The main item of food associated with the holiday is Pan de Muertos. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a delicious loaf of sweet bread coated in sugar and decorated to resemble a pile of bones. Another staple is the sugar skull, an ornately decorated sugar sculpture shaped like a skull that can be both a beautiful decoration or a sweet treat. They come in both edible and non-edible varieties. The more decorative sugar skulls will often contain a space to write the name of a deceased loved one to be placed on top of the ofrenda. The edible version is simpler and usually made from a softer kind of sugar. Edible skulls can also be found in chocolate version, and bakeries and sweet shops across the country make skull-shaped pastries, cookies, and even gummies for the holiday. I was actually hoping that I would find some skull-shaped cookies or something like that at this bakery, this really popular bakery, but they didn't have any. But that's okay because I did find the sugar skull. So I found the sugar skull, and I found the little one. They only had little ones, and I'm not sure if this one is edible or not. It's so white you can barely see it against my light. There we go. Still can barely see it. I'm not sure if this one's edible or not. I'm not going to eat it just in case. It's not ornately decorated, but it does have a hole. So I'm not sure if you're supposed to put the name of your deceased loved one in this. It seems like that's possibly what this hole is for, because I would assume, living in just a regular middle class neighborhood, that they would want to multitask with the things that they make, because it's not like it's a rich neighborhood. So I would assume that they would want to multitask and make it so that you can probably put the name in there. It's very, very beautiful. I mean, it is in the shape of a skull. The eyes just have like little paper, and then there's a little bit of decoration. The one on the back is decorated, much nicer, but, I doubt they probably had no time to decorate this one that nice. But yeah, that's cute. Once I'm done, I'll probably give it to my daughter. She can play with it or something. Who knows? No, I was going to say maybe I'll try to taste it. But I mean, like, hello, diabetes calling. I mean, I don't want to eat the sugar skull. And then also I have all of this fantastic sweet bread. So I've got all that sweet bread there. And there's no way I'm gonna be able to even eat all that sweet bread. I'm not even really a fan of the sweet breads. I'm more Americanized, so I like things sweet, and theirs are usually just a hint of sugar. So it's more healthier for you, I think. But I have taken pinches off of the ones that I have, so I've cheated. Yeah, I've definitely cheated. So different traditions exist in different parts of the country. Mexico is a very large and diverse country. Day of the Dead celebrations tend to vary from place to place, It is not uncommon for different towns to have their own unique traditions, and it's kind of like I was saying before with different people and even probably their ofrendas. Everyone is different, and so even the towns are different. Some towns do different traditions versus another town. I think I read one town actually by candlelight they cross the lake towards the cemetery. That must be so beautiful to see. That sounds really, really cool. Another town, they decorate with like stars and paper chains, and that's to help the relatives find their way to their loved ones' homes. So it really just depends on where you are. Just like I think, again, different people would put their own special touch on any celebration. So it would definitely be interesting to learn all the different little quirks about the different cities and sometimes even just people to see all the different ofrendas. That would be fantastic. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm good. I didn't even realize I'm over here talking and talking and talking. So that's a little bit about Day of the Dead. And like I said, I wanted to really research it in in response to receiving my present. And I'm going to show my present a million times because I absolutely love it. It's so fantastic. It's so unique. And I really like unique things like that. And, I love that someone thought to give me something so unique like this. I don't have an ofrenda to put it on, so I just leave it on the desk. So let's go ahead and, like I said, here I'm in Texas. We have a huge Mexican population, so Day of the Dead has always been really, really big, and there's always things associated with it. Now, when I say always things, I mean things. It's not a little bit of stuff. So the things that I'm going to show you, I mean, it's just literally the bottom probably of the rung. You can go into any store right now and they have tons of stuff. I mean, you name it and they have it. Dish towels, plates, cups, mugs, anything you can think of, they have it. And when you learn about the holiday and you realize that for Mexicans, it is second to Christmas, use that and think, okay, now I get it. When she says they have everything, they have everything. Every single store has a bunch of stuff right now related to Day of the Dead. Every single store. There's not one store that I can go into that I will not see anything that I want to look at for Day of the Dead. So I have here a prayer candle, and I got this at the drugstore. I needed to grab some cash, so they didn't have an ATM in that drugstore, so I needed to just buy something. And I was like, oh, look at that prayer candle. It is very pretty. It's very intricate. I actually really like it. It's a Day of the Dead candle. Probably end up giving it to my daughter after this. But it's a prayer candle. So I'm going to turn my light down a little bit. Maybe so it doesn't glare so much. And this is actually similar to how people will dress at the parades and stuff like that. And even spectators will come and they'll just be all decked out, just ready for a good time. Now, I'm not sure if this particular candle is a 7-day candle, but I know that I actually buy this brand candle, a little bit bigger than this though, but I buy this brand for hurricanes. I'm originally from Florida, so I always prepare for hurricanes. I think I might have about $10 worth of, not Day of the Dead, but just these type of candles. They're like 7-day candles. They're supposed to last for like 7 days. And I buy them, in case the power goes out or anything. And they are also prayer candles, but I buy them for that reason. There's that. And like I said, that came from the drugstore. And these two decorations just came right from the local 99-cent store. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh no, the local Dollar Tree. Yeah, so the local Dollar Tree. This is a sugar skull, and you have all the flowers and all the bright colors. You know, and it's just a very, you can see it's a celebration. It's not like they're mourning and they're saying, you know, I'm mourning grandma or grandpa or whomever it is. It's a celebration. Now, I'm sure in some cases, depending on how the death was, it probably is not more of a celebration, but look at how gorgeous that is. I actually had a friend also. She really enjoyed Day of the Dead, and she had her kitchen decorated with a couple of things. Nothing overbearing, nothing too crazy, but it was just a couple of things. And that was just her kitchen year round. It wasn't like, you know, her kitchen just for a little bit. And here goes the sugar skull again. It's probably difficult to see because of the glare. And I think that this hole would be where you would write the name of your relative or your loved one and put it on the ofrenda. I think. Now, I was in a different dollar store, and we had the sugar skull tin, and in here there's a sugar skull cookie. Mine is broken, but you know, those little Dollar Trees. So I guess I did get my cookie. I was saying I hope that I wish the bakery had it. But like I said, it doesn't matter where you're at. You can find things relating to it. You know, you've got the earrings. The earrings are usually in like Walmart or just everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And also with the sweets, like I was saying, they usually have the Mexican hot chocolate. This is the brand of Mexican hot chocolate that I normally have anyway. So, abuelita, which means grandmother in Spanish. And this just has like some special spices. It makes it like a little bit spicier, gives it like a little bit of a oomph in it. Now let's go ahead and let's look at the different breads that I got. The pan. So these right here are some of the ones that you would put on your ofrenda, or you can also just enjoy. You know, these are all part of the traditional holiday breads. I don't know the names of all of them. Like I said, in the bakery, whew, they are crumbly. In the bakery, I just got whatever they had on their massive ofrenda. And yes, they had these ones, and but they had a lot, you know, like there was a lot going on with the ofrenda. It wasn't just, you know, like breads, but we've got this one. And I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like the pile of bones that's on top. So I have that darker one, and then I also have a lighter one. So, I mean, that looks more like the skeleton bones. So that's probably what these are supposed to be. I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of sweets because, like I said, I like sweets. But I'm going to take a bite of it. So I'm going to tell you guys how it tastes. Mmm. 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 Definitely good. Mmm. 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 Yeah, it's just slightly sweet. I think there might even be some cinnamon or something in there. This is really good too. It's almost like a I don't want to say it's a bread, but I'm not sure it's really even a frosting. I think it's just a little bit of maybe a sugar frosting. Maybe like a sugar frosting. I won't take another bite of that because I have others. Let me drink some of any excuse to drink wine. I will use any excuse to have some alcohol. I can tell you one thing. These are not very easy to eat. They're not very ladylike. I mean, I guess I could slice a piece off and be all prim and proper with it, but no. Okay, so we got this one. I have a feeling this one's going to taste very similar to the other, but let's go ahead. Let's go for it. Yes, very similar to the first. That one's a little bit dry. Maybe, maybe I've had it out too much. Sorry if you can hear that. I'm wiping the crumbs from my desk. They're very crumbly. Now this one, I already snuck a piece of this. It was just so pretty. It was sitting, it was sitting on my desk, and I was like, nothing can be that pretty around me. I must taste it. So it's the same. So this appears to be like, that's good. This appears to be like maybe a sugar frosting, but not like I wouldn't say a cake frosting. So it's not fully frosted. And it doesn't have that sweetness like a can of frosting or something. I'm getting sugar everywhere. I'm gonna have to really make sure I clean in here. So I'm gonna take another piece because I took a piece earlier and I want another. I have, now this one is much sweeter. It's actually much sweeter. And I think it's much sweeter because you can't see it. Let me see if I can, let's see if I can block out some of that light a little bit. There is actually sugar sprinkled on top of it also. So you have the frosting, you have the sweetbread. Oh, they're on my computer. You have the sweetbread, but there's additional sugar on top of that. So you know me, I gotta like eat it where there's all the sugar. I gotta have all the sugar. That's good. I have a girlfriend, and I remember her daughter was one time telling me when she was little, just a little thing. She was like, "We have sweets in the house," and she was just so cute. You know, they had like a whole thing full of the breads. And you know, even shopping at those bakeries is quite an experience because let me see if I can describe it to you. You walk into the bakery, now it's just in a regular plaza. You walk into the bakery and the smell, like I said, it's like walking on cloud nine. It's so delicious in there. But then a bakery would be that way. You would expect a bakery to smell delicious, but it's like a couple notches above because I've been to a lot of bakeries. When you walk in, at least this particular one, there's like a little rectangle where the girls are at the cash register. There's some smaller cakes, and there's a slot, and you pick up what looks like a pizza plate, but it's a platter. It's a big platter. And it's really big. It's a big round platter. And you pick this platter up and you pick up a set of tongs. The tongs are hanging from a bar right above the platters. And there are, I would say, like see-through cabinets. That's the best I can describe them as, see-through cabinets with trays. And all the trays have, you know, all the breads or whatever they have, the cookies, they have cakes, bread, cookies, cakes. Yeah, basically. And you just kind of go through, you use your tongs, you grab what you want and you put it on your platter and you just go right on through the bakery. And then once you're done with your order, you take your big platter, you take it to the cashier, and she then takes her tongs and puts each one in the bag and, rings it up either in the bag or the box, depending on how many you've gotten, and rings it up. So it's a different experience right there, because normally you go to an American bakery and all the goodies are behind glass and you kind of point out, I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this. Whereas here, you got free reign. You can just grab and grab and grab. And that's what I did. So I have another one. So remember we read about purple being like one of the main colors. So I think that's where this one comes in. And I can tell this one's going to be sweet. I can actually, you can probably see the sugar on this one. I don't even know if I have to try to dim the light. This one has sugar like falling off of it. Good grief. They all have sugar falling off. But this one is really, really sugary. It's really pretty. It looks like a flower. It appears to be a flower to me. So let's go ahead and they all basically have the same taste. The only thing different I've noticed is with the ones like this that I can see the sugar on and the ones that I don't see the sugar on, obviously these ones are sweeter. That's the only difference. So they all taste like the same basic bread, just with different sweetness levels. So like I said, this one is going to be super sweet. It is sweet. And I am there for it. Yeah. Now I wonder about, this doesn't necessarily look like a frosting, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that is sweet and I'm there for it. Now the last one, I am getting sugar everywhere. No joke. Like I said, the one thing I forgot was a napkin. I think I have everything up here except a napkin. I had napkins earlier, but I used them for something else. That's sweet, sweet. Good, good. I'll probably nibble on these tomorrow morning for breakfast. Now the last one, I'm not sure what this one is because I didn't learn about this, but this one is obviously, I'm gonna brush it off a bit. This one is obviously like a human. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a spirit or something like that, but they had it on their ofrenda. So I was like, well, I'm gonna grab one too. It's got the little eyes and the little mouth, and then it appears like maybe the hands are crossed. Maybe the hands are crossed. Then there's this. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but they had it on theirs. They had it a couple times on theirs. So I grabbed one, and I did taste its little butt. Had like a little butt there, and you know me, I had to pinch that butt. And it's just it tastes just like regular bread. There was nothing special about it. This one's a little dry. It's actually a little dry too, so it's still dry. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be dry or what. It has that little sweetness, but it's really dry. It reminds me of a drier Hawaiian roll. So, yeah. So again, I'm not sure what this is supposed to represent. You know, those bakeries are fantastic places. And you really can't ask them any questions because they don't speak English, which is fine with me. As long as they know how much money to take and how much change to give, and I paid with card anyway, I'm 100% fine with that. And as long as they know how to bake. And that bakery actually is so good. I've been to that bakery so many times. It's next to my old home. And I'm going to be licking and dusting sugar off myself all night. It's next to my old home, and their cakes are so fantastic. Most of their cakes, practically all of them, they taste like their tres leche, which is the very wet. It's a 3 milk kind of cake, but it's good. I mean, it's all good. Even the chocolate ones, everything. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks for being here and sharing all these goodies with me. I do have them on a plate though. There's a lot. You definitely can't eat all this, or I can't eat all this. And it's really interesting to just learn about Day of the Dead, the holiday, and what it means, and how long it's been around. And there were so many things that I actually found out that I hadn't known. And again, it's just all because of my fantastic present. I'm over here. You would swear that I'm selling this thing the way I'm talking about it, but it's when you get things like this that kind of make you open your eyes. That's a good description. It opens your eyes. It opens your eyes to different cultures, different perspectives. Because if I hadn't really gotten this, even though I live in a state where Day of the Dead is so popular, I'd never actually looked it up. I'd never really proactively learned specifically about it. I just knew it was there. But I didn't really understand it. So when you get things from people that care and they want to really just open your eyes to different things, it really just opens up possibilities for yourself and just, family. And now I'm sharing it with you guys, and hopefully you guys have learned a little bit about Day of the Dead, things that I didn't know, and I've shared with you. And yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna clean my computer. I'm actually looking at my keyboard and I'm like, I can see, cake all over it. So thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, especially subscribe. That's a free way to just kind of help me out, and also be notified anytime I upload any type of content. I want you to just come explore with me, just kind of hang out for a little bit. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again. Bye.